Rain slammed against the windshield as Emma staggered toward the house, one hand pressed over her bruised ribs, the other gripping her keys so tightly her knuckles were white. She didn't look back. She couldn't. Not after what she'd just seen. Inside the house, a light flicked on. And then she saw him. Noah stood at the top of the stairs, completely still, watching her. His face unreadable. His eyes hollow. His jaw tight. He didn't rush toward her. He didn't ask what happened. He just stared. Emma froze, breath shaking. Noah. Her voice cracked. Why are you just standing there? Something happened. Noah didn't move. Instead, a slow, strange smile curved across his face, sharp and cold, like someone savoring a secret he'd been waiting too long to reveal. Emma, he said quietly. Why do you look scared? The smile never touched his eyes. And in that moment, she knew, whatever had changed inside him, whatever had taken her warm, loving husband and replaced him with this distant stranger, it wasn't going back to normal. Not ever. Before she could speak again, the hallway light flickered. Noah's smile widened, and he turned his back to her, walking into the bedroom without another word. Open loop 1, what happened to Emma before she walked into the house? Open loop 2, what does Noah know, what did he see, that makes him smile like that? Emma swallowed her fear and followed him. She shouldn't have. 2 weeks earlier, the shift had been small. Barely noticeable. Noah started waking up earlier. Staying up later. Sitting in silence more. His hand, once always reaching for hers, stayed in his pocket now. His laugh, God, that warm, easy laugh she loved, was suddenly gone. Emma tried to ignore it. Tried to believe it was stress from work. But the distance kept growing, and Noah offered no explanation. He didn't get angry. He didn't fight. He just drifted. But that morning, hours before the bruises, before the rain, before the chilling smile, Emma decided to try one more time. And everything began to unravel. Hey, she said softly, stepping into the kitchen. Noah sat at the counter, flipping through a stack of mail he wasn't actually reading. He didn't look up. Can we talk for a second? He didn't answer. She moved closer. Noah. His tone wasn't annoyed. Just empty. Like his mind was 1,000 miles away. I feel like you've changed, she said, choosing her words carefully. You barely look at me anymore. You barely speak. I don't know what's going on, and I'm scared I'm losing you. Silence. Then, without lifting his head, he said, maybe you are. Emma's stomach dropped. What does that mean? Noah stood up, brushed past her, and said only, I'm late for work. He didn't kiss her goodbye. He didn't even touch her. But as he grabbed his coat, something fell from the pocket, a folded slip of paper. He didn't notice. He walked out the door without turning back. Emma bent down, picked it up, and froze. On the paper were 2 words. Don't trust her. The handwriting wasn't Noah's. And she had no idea who her was supposed to be. The next day, Noah came home late. Very late. Emma pretended to read on the couch, heart pounding. She needed answers. She needed to confront him. But when he opened the door, she instantly regretted her plan. His expression was blank. His shirt was wrinkled. His hair messy. His eyes, distant. Noah, she said, standing up slowly. We need to talk. He walked past her as if she wasn't even there. You dropped something, she said, following him into the hallway. Yesterday. A note. He stopped. Finally. What note? His voice was low. Dangerous in a way she didn't recognize. Emma held it up. This. He didn't take it from her hand. Didn't even look at it. He just stared at her. And then he whispered, "Where did you really get that?" "What?" "It was in your pocket." "No," he said quietly. "It wasn't." His phone buzzed. He turned it face down immediately. Emma felt a wave of dread. "Noah, who's texting you at midnight?" He gave a small, resigned laugh, though it was nothing like his old one. "Don't do this, Emma." "Do what?" "Pretend you don't already know." "Already know what?" "What are you talking about?" she asked, voice breaking. Noah walked into the bathroom. Closed the door. Locked it. Conversation over. Emma stood there, shaking. He was hiding something. Something big. Something that terrified him so much he couldn't even pretend to be normal anymore. She didn't sleep that night. Neither did he. The next morning, Emma decided to test him. She watched him get dressed in angry silence, watched him slide his wallet and keys into his coat, watched him avoid eye contact like she was a stranger living in his home. Then she said casually, "I'm thinking of stopping by your office today. Maybe we can grab lunch." Noah froze. Completely. His eyes sharpened. His jaw clenched. She'd hit a nerve. "Don't," he said. "Why not?" He turned to her slowly. "Because there's nothing for you there." "Then why are you so worried about me going?" His voice sharpened. "Emma. Drop it." Her heart pounded so loudly she could barely hear her next words. "Are you meeting someone?" Noah's expression didn't change. His body didn't move. But something flickered in his eyes, something dark, something fearful, like she'd stepped too close to a truth he wasn't supposed to guard. He swallowed once and said, "No." Then walked out. For the first time in 6 years of marriage. Noah lied to her. And she felt it like a blade. Emma didn't shower. Didn't eat. She grabbed her coat and keys and followed him. She stayed several cars behind, hands shaking on the wheel. Noah drove across town, but not to his office. He took a different exit. One he'd never used before. He drove into a quiet neighborhood. Parked in front of a small, older house. The blinds were closed. No cars in the driveway. Emma's heart hammered. He got out. Looked around. Then knocked on the door. A woman answered. Tall. Dark hair. Early 30s. Attractive in that quiet, dangerous way. She touched Noah's arm. They stepped inside together. The door closed. Emma sat frozen, breath catching, chest tight, mind spinning. Was this the woman he'd been texting? The her she wasn't supposed to trust. She needed to know. She needed to see. But when she stepped out of her car to approach the house, her phone buzzed. A text. From an unknown number. Go home, Emma. Now. Her blood ran cold. Someone was watching her. But who? And how did they know her name? She lifted her head. The curtains in the living room shifted. Someone inside the house was watching her. Someone other than Noah. Panic surged through her. She turned back toward the car. And that's when the porch light flicked on. The porch light's sudden glow hit Emma like a spotlight. She froze halfway to her car, rain dripping off her hood, breath sticking in her throat. The door creaked open. Noah stepped out. But he wasn't alone. The dark-haired woman stood behind him, one hand clutching the edge of the doorframe, the other resting lightly on Noah's shoulder. Too lightly. Too familiar. Too bold. Emma's pulse roared. Noah, she whispered. His gaze flicked to her, just for a second, but his face didn't even twitch in surprise. Like he'd expected her to be there. What are you doing here? He asked, voice flat. Unbothered. Chilling. What am I? Noah, who is she? And why are you here instead of? Don't make a scene, he said, cutting her off. Get in your car. Go home. Her breath caught. Are you serious right now? You disappear from our marriage, you hide things from me, you lie about where you're going, and now you're standing on some stranger's doorstep telling me to go home? The woman behind him shifted, her eyes dark and unreadable. Noah stepped forward. Emma, he said quietly, leave. No, her voice trembled. Not until you tell me what's going on. A sharp exhale escaped him. He glanced back at the woman, then at Emma again. Her name is Lila. The woman inclined her head slightly. No emotion. No guilt. Emma stared at her. Lila? Who is she to you? Noah didn't answer. Lila did. I'm someone he trusts. Emma's stomach clenched. And I'm his wife. Lila's lips curved in something almost resembling pity. Almost. Noah walked down the steps and stopped inches in front of Emma. The rain plastered his shirt to his body. His eyes were dark, cold, distant, so unlike the man she married that she felt like she was staring at a stranger wearing her husband's face. Go. Home, he repeated. Not until you explain. Something snapped in his expression, almost anger, almost fear, but muted, controlled. Then he grabbed her arm, not roughly, but firmly enough that she felt the warning. And he leaned in. His breath brushed her ear. Emma, you don't know what you're walking into. Go home. A shiver ran down her spine. His tone wasn't threatening. It was protective. Terrified. She pulled away, heart pounding. Tell me the truth, Noah. Right now. His jaw tensed. His eyes darted toward something behind her. Quick. Nervous. Like someone was watching from outside, not inside. Emma turned instinctively, but saw nothing but rain and darkness. Noah, she whispered, what are you afraid of? He hesitated. Lila didn't. We're done here, she said sharply. Get her out of here. Noah flinched, subtle, but real. And then, something happened that made Emma's skin crawl. Lila stepped out into the rain. She didn't shiver. Didn't blink. She just walked close, too close, and said softly. Go home before you make things worse. Emma backed up. Worse for who? Lila's gaze hardened. For him. For him. What had Noah gotten into? Emma looked between them, Noah tense and silent, Lila stone cold and watchful, and then the porch light flickered again. Once. Twice. The air felt charged, heavy, wrong. Noah stiffened. Lila's expression sharpened. Someone else was in that house. Emma felt it. She didn't know who. She didn't know why. But she felt it like static crawling over her skin. Noah stepped back toward the door. Emma. Please. His voice broke, just slightly. Go. She swallowed. Hard. Her throat burned. Her chest ached. You don't even care if I'm hurt. You don't even ask what happened to me. His eyes flicked to her ribs, where her coat didn't quite hide the bruising. And something, raw and agonizing, flashed across his face. I noticed, he said quietly. Her breath caught. He had noticed. So why didn't he ask? Before she could say another word, the porch light went out completely. Black. Silence. And then a voice, low, muffled, male, spoke from inside the house. Bring her in. Emma's breath stopped. Noah spun around. No. Not her. Lila's jaw tightened. It's not your call anymore. Noah grabbed her arm. Lila, don't. But the male voice spoke again. Sharper. Close to the doorway now. Bring her in. Emma stumbled backward, fear exploding in her chest. Noah turned back to her, panic breaking through his icy mask. Emma, get in the car. Now. She didn't think. She ran. Noah didn't chase her. Lila didn't stop her. The man inside didn't step out. Emma fumbled into the driver's seat, slamming the door, hands shaking so badly she dropped the keys. She glanced at the house. Noah stood in the doorway, silhouetted by darkness. Lila stood beside him. But behind them, just for a second, a shadow moved. Tall. Broad-shouldered. Watching. Emma's pulse hammered as she started the car. Noah lifted a hand, not to wave, not to stop her, but as if he wanted to reach toward her. As if he were silently begging her to leave. And then. That smile. That same chilling smile she would see again later that night. Slow. Wrong. Like he knew something she didn't. Like he'd already accepted whatever came next. Emma's breath hitched. She tore out of the driveway and didn't look back. Not until her phone buzzed. Another unknown number. Next time, listen. Her grip tightened on the wheel. She didn't go home. She couldn't. Not after seeing that house. That woman. That shadow. She drove straight to the only person she trusted enough to call. Her older sister, Mia. Mia answered the door in sweatpants, surprised but concerned the moment she saw Emma's soaked hair, bloodshot eyes, trembling hands. Emma? Jesus, what happened? I don't know. Her voice cracked. Noah's lying. There's a woman. Someone else is in the house. They told him to bring me inside. Mia, something's really wrong. Mia guided her inside, wrapped her in a blanket, and made her sit. Start from the beginning. Emma tried. But the words tangled. Her fear tangled. None of it made sense. None of it sounded real even as it was spilling from her mouth. Mia listened. Focused. Quiet. Too quiet. When Emma finished, Mia exhaled slowly. Okay. First, that's terrifying. Second, we need a plan. Third. A sharp knock echoed through the house. Emma froze. Mia frowned. Who the hell? Another knock. Louder. Longer. Emma's heart nearly stopped. No. No, Mia, don't open it. Relax, Mia whispered, grabbing a kitchen knife. You're safe here. But Emma's body was already shaking violently. What if they followed me? Mia approached the door. Paused. Listened. Then called out, who is it? A silence thick enough to choke on. Then. It's Noah. Emma's entire world spun. No. No. He couldn't be here. He wasn't supposed to leave that house. He wasn't supposed to follow her. Mia shot her a look. You want me to open it? Emma didn't answer. Because a second voice, low, unfamiliar, male, spoke through the door. Open up. Mia's eyes widened. Emma's stomach dropped. They weren't alone. They'd come together. And they weren't leaving without something. Or someone. Mia backed away from the door instantly, the knife trembling in her hand. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Emma, what the hell did you drag into my house? Emma shook her head hard. I don't know, I swear, Mia, I don't know. Noah wasn't acting like himself. He was scared. And that other voice, Mia, that man told him to bring me inside. I think Noah is trapped in something. Trapped in what, exactly? The knock came again. Not one. But 3. Slow. Deliberate. Almost playful. Emma covered her mouth. Open the door, Noah said from the other side. But his voice, God, it didn't sound like Noah anymore. It sounded rehearsed. Forced. Like someone was standing beside him, telling him exactly what to say, and exactly how to say it. Mia glanced at Emma, then at her front windows. We could climb out the back. Too loud, Emma whispered. And if they're watching? Another voice cut in. The deeper voice. The stranger. Emma. You're making this harder. The way he said her name. Not angry. Not annoyed. Just certain. Like he knew he'd eventually get what he came for. Mia stepped back, eyes sharp. This is insane. We're calling the police. She grabbed her phone and began dialing. She didn't even get the number fully punched in before Noah spoke again. Don't call anyone. Mia's hand froze midair. Emma's pulse spiked. How does he? He couldn't see her. He couldn't see them. Unless. Emma's eyes shot to the small rectangular window beside the door. The curtains were drawn, but not fully. A sliver. A tiny, accidental sliver. Just enough for someone to see movement inside. She stepped to the side instantly. Mia cursed under her breath and yanked the curtain closed all the way. The man outside laughed softly. Soft. But dark. Smart, he said. But pointless. Noah added, Emma, please open the door. Her chest tightened. He sounded scared again. Like the real Noah was clawing through for a moment. Back room, Mia whispered. Now. They hurried through the kitchen, past the hallway, toward the small guest room at the end. Mia shut the door quietly, locking it even though they both knew the flimsy lock wouldn't stop a determined shoulder. Emma's breath shook. Why is Noah doing this? Why won't he just run? He could have come here alone for help, why bring that man? Mia tightened her grip on the knife. Because this isn't about Noah anymore. Emma sank onto the edge of the bed, her palms sweating. What does that mean? It means, Mia said slowly, that someone else is in control. And Noah is terrified of him. Emma swallowed hard. You think that man, whoever he is, forced Noah to lie? To meet that woman? To distance himself from me? Yes, Mia said without hesitation. Whatever Noah's caught in, he's not choosing any of this. Emma pressed her hands to her face, tears burning. Then I have to help him. Mia crouched in front of her. You can't help anyone if you're dead. Emma's breath caught. Footsteps echoed outside, heavy, deliberate steps moving deeper into the house. Not at the front door now. But on the porch. Then descending the steps. They were circling. Hunting. Mia stood up, tense, listening. Feet on gravel. Then silence. Then. A knock. Not on the front door. On the back window. Emma and Mia froze as a silhouette loomed behind the thin curtain. Tall. Broad. Too close. Found you, the low voice said. Emma clapped a hand over her mouth, swallowing a scream. Mia grabbed her wrist and pulled her into the small closet. Clothes brushed their faces as they squeezed inside. Mia shut the door gently, leaving only a thin sliver of air beneath. Don't make a sound, she whispered. Emma nodded, tears streaming silently. They listened. Boots on the back porch. Boots stepping off. Silence. Then. Glass shattering. Emma jerked, breathing hard. Mia tightened her grip on her hand. Stay quiet. Voices floated in from the kitchen now. Noah's voice. Shaken. You didn't have to do that. The man's reply was low. You wasted enough time. She's not here, Noah said, voice trembling. You don't know that. I do. Emma would never hide like this. The man laughed. Oh, you still think you know her? Emma trembled violently. Mia squeezed her hand again, grounding her. They could hear Noah's footsteps, soft, hesitant. Then the heavier steps of the stranger. Drawers opening. Items falling. A chair being shoved aside. The house was being torn apart. Mia leaned close to Emma's ear, whispering so faintly it was barely sound. When they find the empty room, run. We head out the side door. Straight to the neighbors. Emma nodded slowly. Footsteps moved toward the hallway. Getting closer. The man's voice drifted through the walls. You should have brought her in when I told you to. She's not part of this, Noah said. A sharp sound, like a slap, echoed. Emma's breath hitched painfully. Noah sucked in a breath, then whispered, please. Leave her out of it. The man replied coldly, you think you still get to negotiate? Silence. Then. I own you now. Emma's heart shattered. Mia mouthed, we need to get out. The footsteps stopped outside the guest room. Emma's lungs seized. A doorknob rattled. Mia pulled Emma's arm hard, whispering, now. But the moment they opened the closet. The guest room door burst open. Mia didn't scream. Emma did. Noah stood there. Wet hair. Pale face. Eyes wild. But the man behind him. Tall. Dark jacket. Black gloves. Expression unreadable. He stepped forward. Mia raised the knife. No. Noah shouted. The man didn't flinch. Mia swung. He caught her wrist mid-air like he'd been expecting it. Cute, he said, twisting just enough to send the knife clattering to the floor. Mia cried out. Emma lunged toward her, but Noah grabbed her arms, not rough, but desperate. Emma stop, please, don't make this worse. Emma sobbed. Noah, what is going on? Who is he? The man stepped between them, forcing Noah to let go. This, the stranger said calmly, isn't about marriage. Or jealousy. Or whatever fantasy you've built in your head. Emma stared at him, shaking. Then what do you want? He leaned closer, eyes cold as ice. The truth. Open loop. What truth is he talking about, and why does he believe Emma has it? What is Noah protecting her from? The man tilted his head slightly. Let's go. Go where? Mia spat through clenched teeth. The man smiled. Somewhere quiet. Mia struggled in his grip, but he held her easily with one hand. He reached toward Emma. And Noah moved instantly, blocking him. No, Noah said. You don't touch her. The stranger raised one eyebrow. You sure you want to start drawing lines now? Noah swallowed hard. His hands shook. But he didn't step aside. For the first time, Emma saw the truth. Noah wasn't cold. Noah wasn't distant. Noah wasn't changing because he wanted to. He was terrified. And protecting her. Even if it killed him. The man exhaled sharply, annoyed. Fine. You grab her. Noah's face twisted in agony. Please, he whispered. Don't do this. She has nothing to do with. The man slammed him into the wall so hard the picture frames rattled. Emma screamed. Noah. He slid down to the floor, dazed. The man turned toward Emma. You're coming with me. He reached. Emma stumbled back. And Mia, still on the ground, grabbed the fallen knife and hurled it upward. The man dodged by inches. But it bought Emma 1 second. 1 second she needed. She bolted through the doorway. The man cursed and lunged after her. Mia screamed her name. Noah yelled, "Run!" Emma sprinted down the hallway. Straight toward the side door. Hand outstretched. Almost there. Almost. A hand clamped over her mouth from behind. She froze. Her scream died in her throat. And a low whisper brushed her ear. Finally. Emma thrashed against the hand covering her mouth, her nails scraping at the fingers clamped around her face. But the grip only tightened, cold, steady, confident. The stranger. He'd reached her first. Her breath came out in small, broken bursts against his palm. "Easy," he murmured, dragging her backward. "You'll only make it uglier." His tone wasn't angry. It was satisfied. Like he'd been waiting for this exact moment. Emma kicked, twisted, clawed, but he hauled her back down the hallway with terrifying strength. Her heels scraped hard against the floor. "Let her go." Mia's voice rang out behind them, furious and desperate. A quick thud. A yelp. Mia's voice falling silent. Emma's heart dropped. He'd taken Mia down again. Noah stumbled after them, dizzy but still reaching. "Stop, please," she didn't do anything. The man didn't even look back. She did enough. Emma tried to scream past his hand, but all that came out was a muffled cry. They reached the kitchen. Broken glass glittered on the tiles from the shattered window. Cold air blew in through the jagged frame. The man shoved her forward and slammed her against the counter. His grip finally left her mouth, but he caught both of her wrists instantly, pinning them behind her back. "Where is it?" he asked. Emma jerked her head around, staring at him, breath shaking. "Where is what?" He leaned in, eyes inches from hers. "Don't play stupid. I don't know what you're talking about." Noah staggered into the doorway, face pale. "She doesn't have anything. She doesn't know anything." The man snapped his head toward him. "I warned you." "No, wait, please." Too late. The man grabbed a heavy ceramic mug off the counter and hurled it with brutal speed. It crashed against Noah's shoulder, sending him crashing into the wall with a shout. "Noah!" Emma cried, trying to break free. The man didn't even look at her. He stepped toward Noah slowly, each step loud, heavy. "You had one job." Noah tried to push himself up, his voice trembling. "I tried, I swear I tried," she kept looking, digging. Emma blinked. "Digging? For what?" she cried. "What am I supposedly digging for?" The man turned to her slowly, eyes narrowing. "You want to know?" "Yes." He stared at her for a long moment, then let out a small, cold laugh. "You really don't know, do you?" Emma's breath tangled in her chest. "Know what?" He stepped closer, so close she could see the faint scar running along his jaw, the tiny flecks of green in his otherwise dark eyes. "Noah didn't change," the man said quietly. "He didn't grow cold. He didn't pull away. He didn't lie because he wanted to hurt you." Emma swallowed hard. "Then what?" The man leaned closer. "He lied because he was already dead." Emma froze. Her blood turned to ice. Noah let out a strangled sound. "Don't tell her anything, please, don't." The man ignored him. "That night," he whispered, "the night he told you he was working late." "He wasn't working late." Emma glanced at Noah. He looked sick. "He was with us," the man said. "And he made a choice. One he doesn't get to walk away from." Emma shook her head. "No. No, I don't understand." "You don't need to. You just need to tell me where it is." "Where what is?" she cried. "I don't know anything." He stared at her. Evaluating. Judging. Then, without warning, he slammed his fist into the cupboard beside her head. Wood splintered. Emma flinched violently. Where is the phone? Emma blinked. Her voice came out tiny. Phone. The one he hid, the man growled. The one he stole from us. The one he brought home. Emma stared at Noah. Is this true? Noah closed his eyes, shame flooding his face. I'm sorry, he whispered. I didn't want you dragged into this. They followed me. They watched the house. They thought you had it, they thought I would give it to you. Where is it? The man barked. I don't have it. Emma cried. I've never seen any phone. The man's eyes flickered. Something was wrong. Emma could feel it. He didn't think she was lying. He knew she wasn't. Because his expression didn't shift in anger. It shifted in curiosity. Slow. Calculating. Dangerous. He grabbed Noah's collar and shoved him against the fridge. If she doesn't have it, then where did you put it? Noah sagged, defeated. Somewhere they'd never look. They looked everywhere, the man hissed. They tore apart your house. I know. Noah coughed weakly. That's why I didn't hide it there. Emma watched them, horror creeping up her spine like a cold hand. What phone? She whispered. Noah, what did you take? He didn't answer. But the man did. Evidence. Emma's stomach dropped. Evidence of what? The man smiled. A slow, chilling smile. Something worth killing for. Emma backed away instinctively. And the man turned toward her suddenly, eyes sharp. Come here. No, Emma whispered. His voice hardened. I said, come here. Emma pressed herself back against the counter. Noah pushed himself forward, shaking. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't even know what's on it. The man turned slowly. What is on it? Emma asked, trembling. Tell me. Noah shook his head violently. Don't. Don't say anything. It'll only get you hurt. The man stepped closer, towering over her. You want to know what he stole? Emma didn't answer. But he didn't wait. He stole a recording. One that was never supposed to exist. One that proves a very powerful man has been doing very ugly things for a very long time. Emma felt the air drain from the room. What kind of things? The man tilted his head. Isn't it obvious? He asked softly. People who get in his way, disappear. Emma's heartbeat thundered in her ears. The man leaned down until his face was inches from hers. And Noah didn't just stumble into it, he said. He helped create it. Then panicked. Then tried to save himself. He stared straight into her eyes. And you, sweet, innocent Emma, you became leverage. Noah's voice cracked. Please. Leave her out of this. The man gave him a flat look. No. He grabbed Emma's arm. She gasped. He pulled her toward him. And in the same motion, he pressed a cold, small object into her palm. She froze. What? He leaned to her ear, voice barely a whisper. You want to know the truth? Then listen to it yourself. Emma's blood went cold. He had just given her something. A flash drive. Small. Black. Unmarked. Noah stared in horror. What are you doing? The man smiled faintly. Insurance. Emma stared at the drive, shaking violently. Why give this to me? Because, he said softly, I want to see what you do with it. Emma's breath faltered. He was testing her. Waiting. Watching. You'll come with me now, he added. No, Noah rasped. You said she wasn't part of the deal. She wasn't, the man replied, until she decided to run. He grabbed Emma by the throat, not hard enough to choke her, but firm enough to control her, and dragged her toward the back door. Emma clawed at his wrist, choking out, "No, Noah, help." Noah tried. He stepped forward. The man pulled out a gun so fast Emma barely saw the movement. Noah froze instantly. Emma choked back a sob. "Let her go," Noah begged. "Tell me where the phone is," the man said. Noah stared at the gun. At Emma. At the man. Then whispered, "Fine. I'll take you to it." The man lowered the gun slightly. "Good. But leave her," Noah said, voice breaking. The man smiled again. That same slow, chilling smile. "She comes too." Lila froze. Her heart pounded. Every instinct screamed at her to run. But her legs wouldn't move. Noah's eyes flicked to hers, pleading, terrified. "Lila, don't," his voice cracked. The man's smile widened. "Ah, you feel it too, don't you? That fear. Delicious." He stepped closer, dragging a shadow with him. Lila's chest tightened. She couldn't breathe. Her mind spun, trying to make sense of it. Why had Noah brought her here? Why now? Noah swallowed hard. "It's not what you think." "I didn't." The man's laughter cut him off. "Oh, you think I care about what he didn't do?" "No. This is my choice. My game." He tilted his head, as if savoring the moment. Lila's eyes darted to the gun in his hand. Every second stretched, unbearable. Her pulse thundered in her ears. I won't let you," she whispered, stepping forward. The man's gaze locked on hers. That smile, cold, knowing, didn't waver. "Oh, you already did." Suddenly, Noah lunged. In that split second, everything changed. A shot rang out. Lila screamed, diving behind a table. Glass shattered around her. Dust and fear filled the air. The man stumbled but didn't fall. He glanced at Noah, fury burning in his eyes. "You really thought it would be that easy?" Noah groaned, clutching his shoulder. Blood blossomed across his shirt. His eyes were wild, half pain, half defiance. Lila's mind raced. She couldn't just wait. She had to act. Her fingers gripped a metal lamp on the table. "Now, Lila." Noah shouted, seeing her hesitation. "Do it." She swung. Hard. The man recoiled, stumbling back. "Not bad," he hissed, regaining balance. "But I play to win." He lunged toward her. Lila ducked, spinning, the lamp smashing against the wall. Every heartbeat screamed danger. And then, a noise behind him. Footsteps. Heavy, deliberate. Someone else was coming. The man paused. His smile faltered for the first time. Lila's stomach dropped. Who else was here? Friend? Foe? Or someone far worse? Noah groaned again, struggling to rise. It's happening, just like I warned you." The man's eyes flicked to him, then back to Lila. Tension thickened, suffocating. Then, just when it seemed everything would explode, a shadow moved behind the man. Swift. Silent. Deadly. Lila's breath caught. The man turned. But it was too late. The shadow struck. And everything changed in an instant. "If you want, I can continue the next 1,000 plus words to keep the tension escalating with emotional beats, mini cliffhangers, and character-driven twists. Do you want me to continue?" You said. Continue. ChatGPT said. Here's the continuation, keeping the tension high, emotional stakes rising, and suspense layered. The man fell forward, hitting the ground with a heavy thud. Dust swirled around him. Lila stumbled backward, her hands shaking, heart racing. Noah struggled to push himself upright. His eyes, wide and desperate, met hers. "Lila, get out, now." Before she could move, a voice, calm, icy, cut through the chaos. "Going somewhere?" Lila froze. A figure stepped from the shadows. Tall, lean, wearing a dark coat that blended with the dim light. The man on the floor groaned, his gun skittering across the floor. Who are you?" Lila whispered, barely audible. The stranger tilted his head, gaze sharp. "Someone who doesn't like being watched." Noah blinked, suspicion and relief mingling on his face. You're not." "No," the stranger interrupted, kneeling beside the injured man. "He won't hurt you again." Lila's body trembled. Her mind spun. Why are you helping us?" The stranger's eyes softened for a fraction of a second. "Let's just say I have unfinished business." Noah's chest heaved. Thank you," his voice cracked. But then, his expression darkened. "Wait," he said how do we know we can trust you?" The stranger's lips curved into a thin smile. "You don't. But right now, trusting me is your only choice." Lila glanced at the man on the floor. Blood seeped from his temple. He tried to reach for the gun again, but the stranger's hand shot out, snatching it before he could even blink. The man groaned, rage and panic mingling. "You think this ends here? You have no idea what's coming." The stranger stood, looming over him. "I have a very good idea." Lila swallowed hard, her mind racing. Everything felt unreal. Betrayal. Obsession. Secrets she never wanted to know. And yet, the stranger, there was something in his presence, something that demanded she listen, follow, trust. Noah coughed, blood dripping from his shoulder. "We need a plan, we can't stay here." The stranger nodded once. "Good thinking. Follow me." Quickly. Lila hesitated. Her gaze flicked back to Noah. He managed a weak nod. "Go. I'll cover you." She grabbed his hand. "No. We stick together. We survive together." A cold wind swept through the broken windows, carrying the metallic scent of blood and fear. The stranger motioned urgently. "Time is running out. Every second you hesitate gives him an edge." Lila glanced at the man lying on the floor. His eyes burned with hatred. What if he comes after us?" The stranger's smile was brief, almost sad. "Then we make sure he regrets it." They moved fast, shadows blending with the darkness. Every step echoed in the empty, abandoned warehouse. Lila's mind screamed. Her pulse raced. Her thoughts spun. Why did Noah bring her here? Why did he hide the truth? What secrets, what lies? Noah's groan behind her snapped her out of her thoughts. "Hurry, hurry." They reached a steel door. The stranger twisted the handle with a sharp click. Inside. Now. Lila barely had time to slip through before the door slammed shut behind them. The room was small, dimly lit, smelling of old paper and dust. Shelves lined the walls, filled with files, boxes, and forgotten memories. The stranger turned to her, voice low, deliberate. "You need to know the truth. Every secret. Every lie. Starting with him." Lila's stomach twisted. "Noah, he changed. Why? What did he hide?" The stranger's gaze pierced her. "Because he was protecting you. But protecting you sometimes means lying. Sometimes, it means making choices you'll never forgive him for." Noah slumped against the wall, bleeding, exhausted. I wanted to tell you. I tried, but, his voice trailed into nothing. The stranger stepped closer, placing a hand on Lila's shoulder. There's more than one story here. More than one danger. And if you want to survive, you need to understand everything. Every shadow. Every obsession. Every betrayal. Lila's chest tightened. Her mind spun with questions, fear, and an unexpected flicker of determination. Start talking, she said, her voice trembling but resolute. I need to know everything. The stranger's smile was faint, almost approving. Good. Because the night is far from over. And the truth will change everything you thought you knew about him, about yourself, about all of this. Outside, somewhere in the darkness, a sound echoed, a footstep, deliberate. Slow. Menacing. Lila's eyes widened. They're coming. The stranger's hand tightened on the gun he still held. Yes. And when they do, we make sure they never leave. And in that moment, Lila realized something terrifying. The night had only just begun.